I gotta give credit where credit is due, because in my mind, this episode was nothing short of amazing. What is up, guys? It is your favorite Attack Lotus here today, and welcome back to the Nerd Corner. And in today's video, I'll be giving you my review of the second episode of My Hero Academia. Now, that does mean there could be, and there probably will be, spoilers for the episode throughout this video, including me mentioning what happened, as well as images from the episode, because I'll be using those as, visuals for the video. So if you don't want any types of spoilers, if you haven't seen the episode, if you haven't read the manga, feel free to leave. If you have seen it or you just want to hear my thoughts, keep listening, keep watching. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to be doing these weekly reviews because I never saw myself as the type of person to review anime weekly. Like, I always plan to do anime reviews, but not weekly ones, more like full series. But, I asked in my last video if you guys wanted to see more, and not only did people say they wanted to see more, that video quickly became the most popular one on my channel with over 2,000 views in just a few days. So I think it's safe to say you guys want to see me do more My Hero Academia reviews. So here's episode 2. Now, to start off, I gotta say, the opening song had me a lot more hyped this week than it did last week. Maybe I was more hyped for this episode, or maybe just the build up to the opening song was just a lot better, and I think that's what it was, because I was definitely bobbing my head. I was feeling it. I was jamming to this song when it came on. Same goes for the ending song. I mean, I liked the ending song even more than the opening song last week, and that's still the case, but I liked it even more this go around. I was definitely feeling it. Like I said, I was bobbing my head. I was moving my shoulders. I was kind of rocking out to it. I was really feeling it. Now, when it comes to the adaptation of the manga to the anime, this episode seemed to have stayed very, very loyal to the manga chapters. I'm not sure off the top of the head how far it went, but I'm going to assume it went somewhere around the middle or towards the end of the second chapter, considering that the first episode covered about, 60-70% of the first chapter. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed the adaptation. It seemed very loyal, and we got some great content. Needless to say, the highlight of the episode, by far, hands down, was Bakugo or Katsuki or Kachan, whatever you want to call him. I tend to call him Katsuki. Was definitely Katsuki getting caught by the slime monster that escaped from All Might. That scene was fantastic. The visuals, the animation, the flames, everything about it was epic. The art style was a little at times, I gotta say. The animation was still great. And I want you guys to understand there is a difference between art and animation. We'll say, to keep it simple, I'll say animation's about movement, art's more about the still images, the drawings. And I want to say that the drawings and the style was a little wonky at times for me. It was a little iffy, but the animation was solid all the way through. I really enjoyed it. But going back, the music throughout this episode was fantastic. You guys all watch anime, so I'm sure you guys can relate. You know that feeling you get when the music just gets you emotional and you get really invested into the scene and just gets you really hype, and you start to feel like this euphoric feeling, or like you get goosebumps or something like that. Like that's how I was feeling, especially during the scene with Katsuki being grabbed by the slime monster or whatever, because that music was just so intense. And then you have the other heroes that are trying to help, but they can't really help because their quirks aren't working well against the monster. And then you have the guy who can, apparently shoot water. He's trying to fend off the flames, so he can't really help Katsuki out. And everyone's just standing around scared. And you have All Might in the crowd. He's all weakened and powered down now, because as we found out, he can only perform, hero work for 3 hours a day, because he's suffered a serious injury to his internal organs. And yeah, it was just fantastic. And then when Izuku rushed in to save Katsuki, it was just it was such a perfect adaptation of the manga. I was really feeling it. It was great. I was so hyped for it. I was like, oh my god, it was dope, man. It was really dope. And I was talking down the hype for this series on the internet. I'm not gonna lie. I was telling people that this series is not that great. Like, I love it. I think it's good. I think it's gonna be great. But everyone's hyping it up, and I just hate hype, and I hate for things to get overrated and get more credit than they deserve. But this episode deserves a lot of credit, and I gotta give it, because man, it was tight. It was really tight. I mean, that's like all I can say. Something else I want to point out is that the emotion in this video, if I haven't already made that clear, the emotion in this episode was definitely higher than the last. Like, I know a lot of people, they felt the feels, with all that, with Izuku and the flashbacks of him being young and crying and his mother being all emotional. That didn't really hit home for me. I mean, I understand how people relate, and I understand why some people got emotional, but at the end of the episode, when he's talking to All Might, the sun is setting and that music is playing, and Izuku starts crying and clutching at his chest, that that hit me. Like, I didn't start tearing up or anything like that, but I'm saying, like, I actually felt the emotion in this scene. Like, it was actually impactful, and to see him crying so fiercely, and then it worked really, really well. It was very well executed, and everything in this episode was pretty much well executed. Like I said, my only complaint was that the art was a little bit at times, but then again, it is staying loyal to the art style of the manga, and the art style of the manga, although great and unique, is not necessarily my favorite. I'm someone who prefers more along the lines of like Masashi Kishimoto or Nobuhiro Watsuki and things like that, but some more Eastern than Western. But it's whatever. That's just personal preference. That's subjective. But yeah, man, this episode was great. If I had to give it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm definitely going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. And the only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 is just because I don't think it was perfect, but I think it was really, really good. I'm sure there are things that could be improved upon, and if I went back and watched it again, because I only watched it once, I'm probably going to watch it again right after this video because that episode was great. But yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, definitely let me know in the comment section below. If you have any thoughts, comments, or questions, or concerns, drop them down in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, so you can stay tuned for all the awesome content I plan on bringing you guys. And let me know if you guys are excited for more My Hero Academia, and if you enjoyed this review, and if you definitely want to see more. Because as long as these videos are getting views and support, and people are enjoying them, I'll continue to put them out. Like I said, I didn't have plans to do weekly reviews, but if people are watching them, I'll do them. So with all that being said, that's pretty much all I have for today, so I will catch you guys next time. Later.